Sorry, we got a little bit disconnected, which is one of the reasons I got a new computer. It was a lot of money, but by gosh, it's definitely going to be worth it because I'm not going to have to deal with this crap anymore. Hopefully that doesn't happen when we have our guest on.
I hope not. Huh?
It's frustrating and it's embarrassing and it's bad. It's just very generally bad, and I apologize. So we talked about the new baby. So we got like everyone's going back to work now, but there's a lot of demands, I suppose, being put on employers. And that's people want to be able to work remotely. I guess that's fine if that's the kind of job that you have. So a new survey, here we go. A new survey finds that the pandemic lockdowns, which pushed many companies to switch to remote work, are changing what employees are putting on the must-have lists when it comes to their careers. Nearly 6 in 10 people, 58%, say that they want a fully remote job. They want to, because I don't know, when I was looking for work, I did a lot of project management, and it would have been very easy to do my job at work or to do my job at home. And if I had to go to a site, I can travel to the site and do things. Because I did a lot of like site surveys. I did a lot of evaluations on how much power we need to power all of our equipment and the layout. And I did all the training for all the people to use. This is back when I wasn't working aviation when we moved from Texas to Ohio. Not a lot of aviation jobs on the northern side of Ohio. So I got into industrial electronics and stuff. So that was what I did. I built and designed machinery for the use in like glass factories and food processing plants. Did a lot of work for Starbucks. Did a lot of work for Chinese companies that would buy 150 yards worth of ovens so they can bake the glass that goes in their vehicles. So that was something that I could do in design and do all of the minutia at home, and then when it came time to go to the site, I could do that. I didn't really have to be in an office and do my thing. That was the white collar side of my job. A FlexJob survey of more than 4,600 people also finds that 39% prefer a hybrid job. That the definition of that is would allow them to work from home and the office. Meanwhile, just 3% of the respondents want to return to full-time work at work after the pandemic's over. You were going to say?
No, I was just saying I think the work from home is a better business model at that point. That hybrid format is really good, but I think you'd save so much money on air conditioning, office space. You could downsize your main headquarters pretty much.
Yeah, you don't need a big-ass building. Russell Jenkins says, what was your aviation background? Well, I'm still in aviation right now. I got out of that industrial type stuff. I was an avionics repairman, avionics special equipment repairman when I was in the Army, and I got out and I worked for Bell Helicopter and worked on, this is back in the 90s, V-22 Osprey, XV-15, the 609 tilt rotor, ARH, which we lost the contract on that. I've been all aviation. I got laid off in 2008, went to work for a mom and pop, and we did aircraft completions. So I was like the avionics lead on that. And so yeah, I've been in aviation ever since. I ETS'd in '96. I've been in aviation ever since then, and I'm going to subtract probably a year off of that, which I went into the industrial side of things. I contracted over in Iraq for a year, supporting the OH-58 Delta, which was awesome. So I don't see this remote work, working remotely, much of a problem if your job can be done from home. If it can be done from home, do it from home. There's no, like you said, there's no reason for you to travel. I mean, you're saving money on gas. there's all kinds of stuff. I just think a water, shit paper. You don't have to, your company doesn't have to buy as many supplies to support an at work workforce. But the thing is, that's good for white collar. But you got to, I'm a blue collar guy. I can't build and test aircraft sitting in my house. I have to be there. I'm a hands-on type of guy. And I think, I don't know. I don't know what the breakdown in America is, white collar versus blue collar. How many people sit behind a desk every day?
Pretty sure it's, I think it's pretty high, depending on, it might depend on the location and states you live in. Because I'm pretty sure, like in the DC area, a lot of those are white collar jobs, like government.
Definitely.
Like, and if they could work from home, that would greatly reduce like the infrastructure stress. Like, rush hour in DC, I'd rather bite a bullet than freaking experience that ever again in my life.
I was gonna say you did that for a little bit.
Yes. No, I don't mess with that. But no, like if you could get half of the people, that are going into work off the road, you're actually, it's saving infrastructure money at that point too. Carbon emissions, you're gonna get the whole way down on this, like scientifically at that point. Huh? But I think it's a hybrid model is probably a better model. There's no reason to go into the office every day unless you have to hands-on touch things.
I mean, and now we've got, Zoom meetings and Microsoft Teams came out with an entirely new platform so people can, collaborate and talk. And we do the same thing at work here. We have a lot of the guys, like our engineers, unless we have something that specific engineer is attached to, like their specific project or their section of the project, they can work from home. But if they're needed in the lab, then guess what? They have a desk and they can set their stuff up and be in the lab. But yeah, if you got to do stuff there, you got to be there. We're just going to have to, as blue collar people like me and the Fat Electrician, we're just going to have to enjoy the extremely large parking lot with all the empty spaces.
Yeah, see that too. Like I did data center work. I could not do my job from home. There was no way I would be able to do it. I had to be there physically doing shit. No? So, but the 99% of the people that I dealt with on a day-to-day basis, they could have just sat their asses at home and called me at my office at that point. Huh?
Yeah, a lot of work nowadays in that type of realm doesn't have to be a face-to-face type thing. You can do things. A lot of jobs can be done remotely. Don't get me wrong. I prefer being there and in person, dealing with people. I don't mind and here I am saying, okay, I got a 30-minute drive to and from work every day. Well, it's 30 minutes in the morning, maybe 45 in the afternoon with big traffic. I go to work so early, there's no traffic. It's like straight shot. But yeah, I don't mind it. It's a break. I think I'd go stir crazy if I was cooped up in the house all the time.
Oh, well, some people just social. I hate people in general. So like, I used to just get mad. I love being in my section of the data center by myself. Nice AC. Leave me the fuck alone. If you got a problem, fill out a trouble ticket. Don't talk to me.
I'll get to it. It depends on what the priority is. So, William White says technology is killing us. No kids playing outside anymore. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know where you are. I got lots of kids. Kids are still out there. Of course, a lot of them are staring at their phone all the time. But
or that crazy TikTok, what do they call it? The devious licks challenge that they're doing, and they were just destroying school bathrooms, like literally stealing toilets out of the bathrooms.
What?
Yeah, I heard this on the news.
Oh no!
Today, and I was like, man, I gotta check this out.
Dude, if someone on TikTok tells you to do something, chances are that's not a good idea.
But these kids were stealing toilets, like the whole bathroom. Like one dude walked in, the whole bathroom was just completely destroyed. It's completely destroyed. Like these guys are getting out of hand with this, and there's principals saying, "Hey, if you do this, you're gonna get persecuted." Blah, 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 blah. They made a whole big deal out of it.
Holy crap!
It's just one of those weird ass TikTok challenges. Eating Tide Pods was the thing 2-3 years ago.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I mean, it's
I remember that.
Same generation there.
and these are the folks that are moving up into middle management now. Though that many years has passed. Man. I really hope. And the thing is, this is the stuff that gets the play on the news and stuff. I have faith that America's youth is not that stupid. But then I look
I don't have any faith in Americans' youth.
I'm trying to keep a good attitude about this.
Dude, I'm terrified of the elder. Like when I'm get old and I'm in the elderly home, I'm doomed.
It's gonna be like in Australia. Australia right now just authorized or just passed a law after months and months and months, if not years, of debate about authorizing euthanasia for elderly sick patients.
So just just get rid of them. They're a burden to society kind of thing.
Yeah. And now I don't know. I didn't read the article, so I can't speak specifically on this. So I don't know if this is like against your will. You're gonna not exist anymore. Your last day will be on the 15th. What the hell?
A slippery ass slope.
Oh my gosh! Right? Ugh. And everyone says, "Oh, that'll never happen in the United States," and then, God damn it,
20 years. Just give it 20 years. I mean, everything moves slower in the U.S.
So, I mean, really, 20 years ago, did you think that we would be where we're at right now? 20 years ago?
No.
Oh, that'll never happen in America.
The world I grew up in 20 years ago was a hell of a lot freer than it is today at that point. That's all I got to say. Used to be able to roam around at night. The worst thing that would happen is a cop would see you and be like, hey, you're out past curfew. They drive you home and drop you off. That was the worst thing that would happen. Now it's just like you get caught outside, you get shot by the police because they think you're holding a gun or something like that. It's nuts. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is old school and it's the old man in me, but man, we'd go out and play and like everybody says and the memes say, when the street lights come on, your ass better be at home.
Oh, I know. That was role for me up until I got into my late teens. And I just did whatever I wanted to at that point.
Of course, that sucks here. I mean, in the fall, it's okay here in Texas, but like in the summertime, shit doesn't get dark down here until like 9:15. Richard Branco says, what would happen if Hillary beat Trump? I don't know. I think things would have been better. I think there would have been more. She's obviously, she has all of her mental faculties about her. So I think things would be different. Not saying better or worse. I think it would be worse, but for different reasons. I think right now, and this is my own personal opinion, that we've got a commander in chief that's just not running. He's the captain of the ship, but he ain't steering the boat. And that's just my opinion on that.
He's just out enjoying ice cream pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, hell, he's standing, his wife is giving a speech and he just turns around and walks the fuck off in the middle of her speech.
There was the one where it was the Secret Service agents were trying to guide him into the White House and he just started roaming through the yard.
Yes, they had to go and look.
Where am I?
But yeah, but if you look at it, I mean, so who's next? Kamala Harris. Who's after that? Nancy Pelosi. And if you look at the line of succession, it's just like everybody in that line of succession sucks. So just deal with what we got. Best thing, if you're not a fan of President Biden and you want a different commander in chief or a different policy or a different way that America is doing business, then you got to look at the midterm elections. That is our best bet to change the way that shit's going on in the United States right now. Midterms. It's not getting. It's not
bunch of libertarians in.
It's not impeaching the president because you get rid of President Biden and Kamala Harris is there. Impeach her, you got Nancy Pelosi. So
that's scary. If you think about it.
Right.
And Nancy Pelosi can't even keep her dentures. She seems like she's drunk 99% of the time she's talking to.
I share that opinion. Okay, everybody, we are going to take a very quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have the Fat Electrician. Everybody in the chats have been clamoring for the Fat Electricians. So we're at that time right now that we can take a break, and we're going to come back. And when we do, we're going to see another video from our friend the Fat Electrician, and then we're going to have the Fat Electrician on the line. So hang tight. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Having some technical issues. A bunch of audio issues just kind of popped up. So, gonna work through that. Mr. Fat Electrician, you can call in. I'm gonna play a video that everybody can enjoy. And oh Lord, here we go.
So that's not fucking good for you. What I'm trying to say is the grunts got techniques. They got shit you ain't never heard of. They got shit you're not going to be around to tell anybody else about. You're about to become past tense. It's just a matter of how. Don't get this twisted. You can still end up in the fucking dirt if the officer's still on the field. What I'm saying is the officer acts kind of like a regulator. Uncle Sam's condom, if you will. You see, when the officer goes down, it's kind of like rolling a 5 in the opening play of Candyland, where you get to hit the rainbow shortcut right here. Except instead of getting a head start in the game, we're just jumping straight to all the weird, irregular shit these grunts can come up with. You know, all the shit Geneva never thought of. But to find out the hard way, it's never a war crime the first time. I can't stress this enough, this is not synonymous to only grunts. For example, does anybody else remember a couple years ago when the United States Air Force decided that they needed to drop the Moab bomb? Moab being an acronym for Mother of All Bombs. The bomb that's 30 feet long and 22,000 pounds, 18,700 pounds of which was straight TNT. Bomb so fucking big, the only way they had to deliver it was by pushing it out the back hatch door of a fucking cargo plane. And while I can't be sure, I'd be willing to bet my lunch money that the Air Force officer was out that day and some E4 got to make the call on what they were dropping. When the grunts called for fire and reported that there was enemies on the mountain, E4 said something like, "Fuck that mountain. We'll just get rid of it." Delete. But wait, the Navy also does this shit. How about that time during World War II, when the USS Texas flooded half of its hull to change the angle of its guns so that the rounds could reach further inland, because fucking America. And all this is just if you take out the officer. Leave the guy in play and then the grunts have appropriate leadership. I really don't fucking know which is worse. Now, all that aside, officers still have a very, very important job. Leading the United States military. And while I've never done it, I have to assume it's like herding cats. If the cats were 185-pound athletes with drinking problems and machine guns. So, in conclusion, if you're an enemy of America, I really don't know what the fuck you should do about the officers, because you're going to get fucked up either way. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to buy me a beer, there's a link to my beer fund in my bio. Thank you for your service. Holy fuck, I'm out of shape.
I think that's my most favorite part of that video is, holy fuck, I'm out of shape. So we're anxiously awaiting the call from the Fat Electrician. My messaging is not working, so letting our front desk know to get this dude on the air, and we'll have him here in just a few minutes. In the meantime, here is that, and I got to get rid of this. Mom. Hey, Mom. Mom. This is why I really like to have people who are on our front desk on the show. Because of stuff like this. Yes, Russell Jenkins is a big fan. He is hilarious. Holly, yes, absolutely, he's hilarious. And we're going to get him here in just a second. See, I had his chat window pulled up, but then you called in, and that takes priority.
Oh, crap.
That's not your fault. It's just the way things are. But we're going to work through this.
Try to figure this one out.
Yeah, it'll work itself out. Definitely.
I don't think I have the ability to add people. So,
can you message him?
I could probably. Hold on.
This is going to work.
Wait one.
I'm going to will this to work. Dun-dun-dun-dun. No, none of my window. Oh, wait, what's this? What does this button do? You know, we're all good about hitting buttons and stuff.
push random buttons.
Hell yeah. Okay, here's how I got to him before. This one, and then
don't push the big red one.
That one. I'm there. Okay, cool. Sent the call in now message, so this is gonna work. This is gonna work. I can feel it in my bones. And WTF Nation Radio, you're on the air. Is this the Fat Electrician?
How's it going?
What's going on, man? It's great to get a hold of you, man.
You too.
Let me blow up your picture here so you're more of a respectable size. How's it going, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule, man. One of the questions, we kind of solicit for questions. Hey, what kind of questions would you like to ask him? One of the questions that came up is, are you actually an electrician?
Yeah, I am.
Are you an industrial guy, or are you you're an AC guy?
No, I have a journeyman electrician's license.
Excellent.
I'm licensed to do pretty much anything in a building, but I mostly do industrial in factories. I do a lot of equipment installations and maintenance and stuff like that.
Like switchgear and stuff like that?
Yeah, troubleshooting. I run a service truck.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm kind of like I'm an electrician as well, but it's mostly it's all avionics. It's all aircraft, so
Gotcha.
it's
Nice.
small electronics. Every time, it's like, hey, what do you do for a living? And rather than say I'm an avionics person, I just say I'm an electrician because that's like a catch-all. And they're like, hey, I've got this problem in my, I've got an overheating circuit breaker in my house. And I'm like, well, I don't know, change out the circuit breaker. If that doesn't work, call an electrician. But you're an electrician.
Right.
Or, hey, I need someone to hang my ceiling fan.
Yeah, I get that one a lot. Bathroom fans are the worst.
Yeah, right. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your military history.
My military history, extremely unextraordinary. I was just National Guard. I was a medic. I was attached to an infantry line unit for 6 years.
So how did you get wrapped up in becoming an electrician? Was that just hey, I got to use my GI Bill? So here we are.
No, so I went to nursing school for 2 years, and I wasn't good at it, and I didn't like it. And then I was looking for something else to do, but I didn't know what it was. And then I saw a meme from Mike Rowe, the Dirty Jobs guy.
Yeah.
He shared a meme on Instagram, and it was like 60-something% of electricians were going to retire in the next 10 years. And so I just said, all right, I'll do that. So then I did.
It's a fun job. I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
It's good work. It's honest work. It's well paying, and I mean you don't have to spend a bunch of money to get certified to do it. I mean you got to learn the NEC, and then you
yeah.
become,
I mean I did a 5-year apprenticeship, so it was all paid for by the contractor, so that was nice.
That's really cool, man. You got a good crew working with you.
Yeah, I do actually. So not too many bad guys stick around, so that's nice.
Yeah, that is. I mean the what do they call them? The bad apples usually don't, for safety reasons or for competency reasons, and which goes back to safety reasons. They don't stick around very long.
Right.
So you when did you decide to start making YouTube videos? Is this a recent development? Because we're just now hearing about you, and it's like this angel of humor has dropped upon us.
I completely on accident. My wife kept sending me videos on an app called Tik Tok, and I just did not. Sorry, you still there?
I am.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I just got
my
the
screen broke up.
Yeah, I've got the
No,
I've just got the Skype blank screen.
Okay. Yeah, my wife kept sending me videos on TikTok, and she kept sending them in like Facebook Messenger, so it was kind of a pain in the ass. I had to keep opening Facebook, and then it would take me to TikTok, and then it wants me to make an account. So I said, screw it, I'll make an account. And then I made a video one day talking about a grocery store called Aldi's, and it got a bunch of views. I got like 5 million views, I think.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, so it got taken down for copyright because I didn't think I was going to get 5 million views. So like in my background, I kind of used a bunch of Google stock images, and they even had like the watermark from like whatever stock image company.com. So those all got taken down for copyright. And then I made the Marines video, and
I was going to ask about that one.
Yeah, so that was like probably my 4th video, and that was the next video that kind of took off, and people kept asking me to do like an 11 Bravo video, and then a combat medic video, and then it just kept going for requests. So, and now I'm here.
I've had nothing. I mean, really, I saw it, and I'm trying to follow your lineage through the TikTok, and it looked like you made a video of father, was it father and son, or was it grandfather? No, it was father and son, and then it was father grandfather, and that's when I really started getting. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then it was kind of mostly military themed, aside from your underwear spot.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I have so many requests for military. I mean, I think I've gotten every job requested, and every unit, every anything. I have people that aren't even in the United States asking me to cover Australian military. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
But
So
then you
it's,
have to,
it's,
I mean,
it's a lot.
in order to cover this, you have to learn a lot. I mean, you were a medic, so I guess you'd know you don't shoot at doc, but what do you know about special forces? What do you know about the Rangers?
So it's actually really cool for me because it's gotten to the point now where I started off talking about stuff that I actually knew a lot about. So I was a medic attached to infantry. So like I knew a lot about being a medic. I knew a lot about infantry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I started off talking about. But after those blew up, it got popular and people kept asking me, hey, will you review special forces? Will you review this? Will you review? Well, 9 times out of 10, the people that want you to review something are either that or they know somebody that is that. And that's why they want that video.
Right.
So I just started asking people like, is that you? Did you do that job? If you did, here's my email. Send me, write me up what your job is and then send me some pictures I can use in my video. So like my special forces video, I was talking to 2 different special forces guys that are currently in the military that helped me write it. Same thing with the Rangers, same thing with, a lot of my videos. It's to the point where I have them calling me, talking me through their job, and then I just write little comedy bits about it.
Yeah, and you got to
really cool.
use this word. Use this word, but use this word all the time, and that makes it all
Right.
just fucking awesome. Because
Right.
I think you work from a different thesaurus. Just
Yeah,
your synonyms for the dead.
Yeah, I try to, for sure. You got to keep it interesting.
What was that? The spicy footballs for mortars, and oh my gosh, extremely creative content.
Thank you.
Where do you think you're going to be going now? What's your next project?
I don't know. I think I'm going to try to keep doing TikTok. I really like the 3-minute format just because I think only giving myself 3 minutes, it really forces me to do like, having that 3 minutes gives me a time limit. So I have to try to pack as much information, as much entertainment into 3 minutes as I can. I think that's what people kind of like. I don't know how well people would like it in a longer drawn out format. So I want to keep doing
3 minutes. I think is good. And this is my opinion that anything after 3 minutes, you're just going to lose people's attention. It's that ADHD kind of mentality that folks have nowadays.
Right. And that's exactly what it is. So like my plan is I want to keep doing those to keep what I've gained, I guess. And then it's getting to the point where, when people ask me, can you cover, so for example, a lot of people want me to cover an Air Force PJ video.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the PJs are?
Yes.
Okay. So for anybody that doesn't know, that's pararescue. They're like Special Forces 911. They're super badass, but a lot of people want me to cover them and I want to cover them too. But I actually have a lot of people I know in the Air Force. So I'm trying to get a PJ that will help me write it and then agree to do a podcast with me after. So then I kind of want to do the TikTok video for 3 minutes, explain it, and then be like, by the way, this guy's going to be on my hour-long podcast where I talk to him more in depth about his job. And then if they are interested in hearing it from him, then they can come on and hear it from him too.
I think that's a really good format.
Yeah. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do is my goal.
So what side of the family do you get your humor from?
My dad, for sure.
So is that true? Big beer belly holding you down to the earth.
Oh yeah, no, I wrote that comedy bit about him for sure.
He's probably got a good sense of humor too about it.
Yeah, he does. He's really funny. So I got most of it's basically just being a smart ass really fast in a respectful manner. So I just kind of got that from him, I guess.
So I think about that. I've got 2 daughters, so it's not like there's been ever like a fisticuffs thing. But I can imagine people just for 16 or 18 years you're plotting kicking your male child's ass.
Oh, dude, I got an 8-month-old kid. I'm already planning it.
He's a cute kid, man. I saw some pictures, man.
Thank you. Yeah, he's cute. For
8 months, he's running. He's probably running around now.
He's not running yet. He's crawling really fast. He's standing up. He's kind of got that shake like he's surfing, but he's just standing there holding the side of the couch.
That's super awesome.
He'll be running around soon.
You'll probably see him on a TikTok or 2 in the coming years, possibly.
For sure. That's definitely going to happen.
So do you ever get any blowback from doing these? Like you did your 11 Bravo video.
You know,
did you get any?
I am absolutely amazed by how so I didn't want to cover this for a long time. Like I've had like these ideas and these jokes just like floating around in my head for years. I've been out of the Guard for 5 years now.
Okay.
And I guess I didn't feel like I had the authority, I guess, to write these jokes and to talk about it because like I was just National Guard. I wasn't like some special forces badass.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like maybe it wouldn't be well received from me, but I just did that Marine one, and most people really like it. I've had probably less than 20 people give me shit, but I think it's just because I'm honest and I'm out front. Like I'm not trying to say I'm anything that I'm not. I'm not going to tell you I was special forces or anything. Like I was a medic in the National Guard. That's it. But I guess nobody really cares because I'm just giving everybody else compliments. You know, it's kind of hard to be like, you don't have the authority to give me a compliment.
And it's not like you're talking shit either. It's not like you're saying these guys
No.
suck because. It's like these guys are badasses because. And it's like this
Right.
break it down Barney style in 3 minutes or less on this group of people. The truck drivers was an awesome video.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's just so like because I never deployed. I was just National Guard. I just did my 6 years and I got out. Because of that, I don't really consider myself like a veteran, like comparing it, because all the guys that I served under, like my NCOs, my officers, like they'd all been to Afghanistan and Iraq like 3-4 times each. And I never got to go because I got in 2013. So I like just came up looking up to all these guys, and then I never ended up doing it. So I still kind of have this feeling of like I'm not on their level. So it's like I still look up to everybody that did go. And then so I kind of have the civilian thank you for your service attitude, but I also have the knowledge of being in the military for 6 years. And I think it gives me this unique vantage point where I can kind of explain the military better to a civilian because yeah.
I mean, don't sell yourself short. Thank you very much for your service. I mean, it takes everybody. You don't have to be an active duty a special forces person to talk about the military.
Right. I know. It's just, I think it's just a different viewpoint because like I didn't go, so I don't feel like I have to pretend to be better than anybody. So because I look up to everybody, I don't mind giving the Cav Scouts a compliment when the infantry would never do that, or giving the Marines a compliment when the infantry would never do that, or
even in our
vice versa.
Even in our chats, it says I don't care. It says you're funny as shit, and you know the military.
Right. Right. So I think I probably have, I think a lot of my followers are military, but I think a lot more of my followers are actually civilians that have military family members that just like understanding it better. I've had so many people message me and be like, wow, this sounds like my grandpa, he served. I wonder if he was an infantry guy. I'm going to go look at his old photos. And I would message him back and be like, well, that's really cool. Let me know. And they would message me back like a day later and they'd be like, yeah, look at my grandpa's old uniform. He had the blue cord, just like your 11 Bravos video talked about. That means he was infantry, right? And I was like, yeah, and he's got a maroon beret and a Ranger tab. Like your grandpa is a fucking badass.
Yeah.
And so people just don't realize, I guess, and they like watching me break it down.
That's cool. I did note that your views are anywhere between, which is impressive. It doesn't matter. 570,000 followers on TikTok, ish. 33,000 on YouTube. Your videos on TikTok range from 50,000 views to 5.8 million views. Tell me about that time you saw that count just kept on going up. That was your 11 Bravo?
Yeah, that video went a lot. The Marine video had, I think, 7 million, but it got taken down, and then I had to re-upload it. Now it only has like 400,000.
So was that another copyright thing? You were showing something you shouldn't have for the Marine Corps one?
No, I don't. TikTok does a terrible job of telling you what you do wrong, so you can correct it. They just tell you it was a community guidelines violation, and like they don't give you anything else. So the only thing I can come up with is because in the Marine video I show a picture of a Marine drinking blood out of a snake, where they in jungle warfare training they cut a snake's head off, you drink the blood, and I showed a picture of that. So I'm assuming maybe that was it. That's the only thing I could think of.
But you showed it because you re-released that video, and that picture's in there.
Yep, and I haven't had a problem since.
Right.
I mean that app is terrible for reports and everything else, but It is what it is.
And again, funny as shit. I mean, I know nothing about the Marine Corps, and I know more now.
Well, that's good.
Everything's a learning experience, and whether it's the thing is, it's not wrong. If you want to look at your TikTok videos for education, you're not going to get bad information. You might get not in context information, but it's not incorrect.
I mean, I'm not always right. I probably get a couple things wrong every episode, but like people in the comments correct me, and then I'll usually pin a comment up top and correct it. Like I know in the A10 Warthog video, I said the A10 Warthog round was blue because it was uranium. That's not why. It's blue because it's a sim round. And like I had guys message me, hey, I worked on A10 Warthogs for 10 years. This is wrong. You know, I'm not too proud to admit it. I'll be like, oh shit, I was wrong. My bad. And then I'll try to correct it.
Well, that's how you grow. That's how you get better. Now you learned something, so you're smarter for it.
Exactly. That's the plan.
Dude, because you had a picture of the round and then like a Shiner Bock bottle right next to it, conspicuously turned backwards as to not violate copyright or whatever, trademark.
Yeah.
But yeah, that round is taller than a beer bottle.
Yeah, so those rounds are they're I don't know if you watched the video, but they were designed that plane was designed to be an anti-tank plane, and those rounds are meant to actually penetrate tank armor. So it's a big bullet. And then the reason it's uranium, it's depleted uranium, it's not radioactive, but uranium has there's something about the metal composition that when it penetrates steel armor, it actually self-sharpens as it goes through, so it gets a lot of penetration. So like that thing could probably go clean through a tank, in one side, out the other, hit the ground.
Hit the tank behind it.
Yeah. In case there's a tank hiding behind the other tank, you know.
So what do you have in store? I mean, can you tease it a little bit? What kind of stuff you have coming up?
Yeah, so I have like a notebook in my phone, and I just think about like 5 to 10 jobs. You're gonna
fill your phone up, man. I can imagine the ideas that you've got.
Yeah, so ones I'm working on right now is Marine Infantry, Marine AAV. That's their amphibious assault boat, amphibious assault vehicle. It's their tank boat thing that they breach a beach with. EOD, which is explosive ordnance guys, the guys that defuse bombs. Trying to think of what else I was doing.
PJs is one of them.
PJs, that one's kind of on the back burner until I find a PJ to do my try to do my podcast with. It's hard because I want to get an active duty PJ that's like still doing it currently, but a lot of them don't want to do stuff because they're also trying to get into selection for higher SF stuff, and those guys don't like to talk while they're in.
I think you could probably find a good veteran PJ to do something with.
Yeah, I could for sure.
Maybe we could put our feelers out. So here's us. Here's me talking to our front desk. Try to find the Fat Electrician some either retired PJs or ETS PJs or people that are still in the Air Force but not PJs anymore to talk to our guy.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And then I got National Guard and I got Sniper. Those are my other ones that I got.
Ooh, Sniper ought to be good. Sniper ought to be good.
Man, I struggle really, really hard making the like super complex stuff funny. So like everybody wants like, can you do special forces? Can you do Green Berets? Can you do Navy SEALs? And like, it's so hard to write jokes about dudes that are absolutely not a joke.
That's a good way to put it.
I mean, it's so hard. I mean, how do you write a joke about somebody that's like a complete badass and totally disciplined? And people were kind of I think the most grief I've gotten on any video was a Navy SEALs, and it was because they're like, oh, you didn't give enough information on their land to sea capabilities, blah blah blah. But it's like, everybody already knows that. Like, there's 20 movies out on Navy SEALs. Everybody knows that they're complete badasses in every way. I just don't want to go on there for 3 minutes and regurgitate shit from that Making the Cut documentary.
Right.
So, but that's why I really like doing stuff like regular 11 Bravo infantry. Like people have no idea, or the 88 mics. Like I had a
The
lot of fun with
88
the 88
mics was
mic one.
so awesome because I was just like, I never really gave them a second thought. They're in my mind, I'm like, okay, they're truck drivers. Yes, they're in the service and they're truck drivers and they get blown up a lot. But then you put it into context and I'm like, okay, this is awesome.
The stats I read, I think 88 mic has actually been, if you were to break it down by MOS, I think 88 mics have sustained the most casualties and injuries in the global war on terror. I think was a statistic. I might be wrong, but it's up there. I know if you Google most dangerous jobs in the military, driver is in the top 10 every time. And most people just they don't realize that. And there's a lot of 88 mics that, like I had a guy, he's got a big YouTube channel. It's like XMC something, but he's going through and reviewing all my TikTok videos and giving his opinion. And he deployed as an 88 mic, and he talks about his experience. And he showed up to Italy, got attached to his unit, found out, hey, you're deploying in 4 months. Have fun with that. He got attached to infantry, and he said I was pretty much right there with the infantry for my whole deployment. And people don't realize. You say, oh, I'm just a truck driver. You don't realize what that means in the context of things.
So we have here in the chats, military intelligence is a good idea. MPs need some love too.
Oh man, I'm trying for the MPs. I need to find a couple more MPs to talk to figure out more about what you guys do.
We can put you in touch with we've got at least one on staff.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. It's just, I don't know. It's finding the right framework to do jokes that give somebody credit and make them smile about their service and not talk smack. You know what I mean? So
it almost seems like it has to happen organically. You just can't write one-liners and then make a 3-minute video. It's got to flow. It's got to have some kind of context attached to it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm working on an MP one too. I've had a lot of requests for that one.
Army aviation. I don't know if that would be a hard one to do or an easy one to do.
See, my thing, I don't know if I would talk about aviation. When I talk about aviation, I almost just want to go into kind of like in the format of the tanker video where I talk about the pilot for like 30 seconds and then I talk about the capability of the vehicle and the pilot together. So like I have a bunch of notes for when I do a Chinook video. I have a bunch of notes on like crew chiefs. So I will do aviation. I probably won't just say aviation. It'll just be, I'll just cover all the different vehicles. Like I'll cover a Chinook, I'll cover a Black Hawk, I'll cover a C-130, I'll cover everything.
An Apache
For sure.
The Cobra. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I think Chinook's still my favorite though. Guns or not.
Dude, PSYOP. Army PSYOP. Psychological operations.
I need to know more about it. Some of these jobs that I hear about, and it's like I need to do so much more research before I get it, because it's important to me that it's funny to the people that did it and it's educational to the people that have no idea what it is. So
it's got to be correct.
Yeah, then that's what's important to me. And like I get so many crazy requests from people. It's like I don't want to talk about it. It's just hard to like the level that people want me to go to and how specific they want me to get. Like I've had messages where it's like, hey, can you do a review on the 101st Airborne 2nd Battalion between the years of 1998 and 2001, 2nd Platoon, 3rd Fire Squad? It's like, dude, that's way too specific. I could probably do 101st Airborne. I could probably do air assault, but like, I can't get into specific years and specific units.
173rd Airborne, the most living Medal of Honor recipients.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was working on a piece for 10th Mountain though, so that'll probably be the first one when I break into specific units.
As soon as you do, your email is going to blow up. Hey, do my unit, do my brigade, do me, do whatever.
I mean, I'll try for sure, but we'll see how close I can get.
I've had a couple of comments here in the chats just talking about the AC-130, the gunship.
AC-130 is fucking awesome.
It is.
I mean, That one is intimidating to write. It's not hard to write, but it's intimidating to write because it's just like the A10 Warthog. The
I was going to
A10
say you could
is,
juxtapose it, over the A10 Warthog and just say, hey, here's the A10, here's the flying gun, and here's the flying arsenal.
right, like C-130, A10 Warthog, Navy SEALs, MARSOC Raiders, like some of those big name stuff that like everybody knows is badass. That their expectations are so high on what's going to be funny about it that I don't know, they're kind of intimidating to write because everybody's expecting a lot when you talk about that. So
the expectations obviously will be high. I mean, when you do a special forces one or the one the Navy SEALs, even 11 Bravos, the expectation is high. But you, as soon as you said, yeah, the 11 Bravos, with the blue cord, if you're not infantry, you're not shit. That
right.
kind of smoothed everything over, and then everything else that you say after that, it doesn't fucking matter. Well, it matters, but not as much. As long as you say if you're not infantry, you're not shit.
right.
You got to dot a couple I's and cross a couple of T's, and
Yeah, for sure. But
so I haven't seen. I've got a lot of comments here on the working dog video that you did, and there's a lot of really good stuff to be said about that. I haven't seen it.
So the working dog one was kind of cool because the guy in that picture is actually already agreed to be on my podcast. So
Excellent.
and he's kind of been like a reoccurring joke in some of my videos. So it starts off, it's him and his dog, and I called him Steve. And I brought him up in a few more videos calling him Steve. And then he's actually my cousin.
Oh, I was going to say, you call the dog Steve?
No, the security forces, it was an Air Force guy, security forces K9 handler.
Steve. Okay.
So he'll actually be on my podcast once I get it started. But yeah, the working dog one was really fun to write. For sure. Those dogs are absolutely crazy. The stuff that they can do and the pictures that he sent me and the stories he told me. So that'll be a really fun, like hour-long or 2-hour-long interview or whatever it is.
I think it wouldn't be far-reaching to just, once you get some clout, and I think you've got the clout, at least within the military community, that, you'll be invited out to go a place and see the A-10 and, do your walk around and whatever. Or
man, if I could get the History Channel or the Discovery Channel or somebody to give me a TV show where I get to go and have somebody fly me around in a C-130, or I get to go try to keep up with a Green Beret in an obstacle course or something, I do not mind if I make an ass out of myself. I will make that as funny as possible. And that would be my dream job.
I mean, I showed the Mortarman video, and you're like, I can ruck, I'm pretty good. And then you do the best soldier competition, and then you ruck against someone who's a Mortarman, and they're just like gone.
Man, it's that strike plate that they put on the ground. Like, you don't see it in like some of their smaller artillery stuff, but the bigger mortars that they use, it's got this big ass strike plate on the bottom, and it weighs like 80 fucking pounds. And they make the youngest private carry it, and that's who that guy was in that video. Like, he was their newest private. He'd been in the unit for 3 months, and that dude was just gone. He beat everybody by like 20 minutes in a 12-mile ruck. It was
because he's not
crazy.
Carrying that strike plate. That's what.
Yeah, exactly. It was 80 pounds lighter.
He probably ended that and just went, "This is easy. Let's go again. 12 miles."
That's exactly what happened. It was ridiculous. But
so what are your plans with? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, hey, so what are your plans for the future? Where do you want to see your channel go?
My channel, I don't.
This is your brand. TikTok. This is your brand.
I know. I'm trying. So speaking of my brand, I just had a bunch of new T-shirts come out today. T-shirts, hoodies.
I just bought one.
Did you really? Which one did you get?
Oh, I got the one that says it's not a war crime the first time.
That's awesome. Yeah, they just had that put on a hoodie too. So I got hoodies with that and the quack bang, and then I got high vis work shirts and all kinds of stuff. But
so your quack bang is a reference to, I think it was your 11 Bravo video.
Yeah,
there was a guy that they would breach a door. He would throw in a rubber ducky because it was funny.
I mean, there's a lot more to it because it was funny. It's just I did a whole another 3-minute video just on why he threw a rubber duck, but in the context of the 11 Bravo video, yeah, I just said it was because it was funny. But he actually like went on to explain why he did it, and like he was actually a really really smart dude. He was one of those guys that's like he was smart enough to have any job in the military, and he wanted to be infantry anyways.
Oh, okay.
Which is a lot more than you would expect. But he was like a psychology major, and there's a fighter jet pilot, and his name was shit. It was something Boyd. Boyd was his last name, and he could beat any other fighter pilot in war drills in 30 seconds or less. 40 seconds or less, because his nickname was 40-second Boyd. And he used a method called the OODA loop, which is observe, orient, decide, act, which is a thought process every person goes through when they make a decision. And he explained how when you throw a rubber duck in, it disrupts somebody's thought process and gives you a better time advantage than a flashbang does.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Some of those grunts are a lot smarter than they lead on.
Well, you got to be. It's a survival thing.
Right.
Well, it's like, spraying silly string into a room so you don't trip any wires.
Yep.
Spray that silly string
100%.
in there and it'll hang.
Yeah, then you start talking about mechanized infantry. They just back up to the living room and drop the back door through, drop the hatch door through the living room wall.
So tell us about you've got your merch site. You've got the donate to your beer fund.
Yeah. Beer fund donations and my merch site. That's really it.
So you got three T-shirts available, and the it's not a war crime. The first time is available in a hoodie, or it's going to be available.
So no, it came out like actually 2 hours ago. It just got added onto my site. So it's I have the Yeetus Deletus with like a mortar logo. That's a shirt. I have the It's Never a War Crime the First Time as a shirt. And then the Quack Bang is a shirt. And then I just got the shirt with just my logo on the front and the back. And then that one's also available on high vis for like anybody that does construction that wants to wear one to work if you are a fat electrician.
I've also had 2 comments on here saying you're not fat. Stolen Valor, he's not fat.
Like I said, I didn't plan on this blowing up. I just got this app so it was easier for me to watch the videos my wife was sending me. And I just came up with a dumb username. I had actually, when I got TikTok, I tore my pec muscle lifting at the gym. Like I tore it off the bone. I don't know if you've ever seen a video where like the whole chest muscle sucks to one side because it rips off the bone. That happened to me. And I had surgery and like I couldn't work out, and I gained, for me, what was a lot of weight. So as a joke to my wife, I kind of made the username like the Fat Electrician. And then I accidentally blew up. I just kept rolling with it.
I don't know, man. I think you're looking all right.
Thanks.
I hope your arm's okay. Is it all better?
It's getting there now. It'll take like another 6 months before it's back to almost normal.
Did they do that the macroscopic surgery where they kind of cut you on one side and the other and then kind of reattach it?
So like even they can't even really do this surgery laparoscopically. I probably got a like 8-inch incision over my shoulder. It's pretty gnarly. They got to like tie it to a winch and yank the muscle back over and then drill through your humerus, your upper arm bone, and then reattach it with like, I don't know, Spider-Man webbing type shit. So it's pretty gnarly surgery for sure.
I've got a question here in the chat. It says, ask him if he's scared of brooms.
Am I scared of brooms? Absolutely. I'm not scared of brooms. It's just that I had a journeyman once that said, are you an electrician or a janitor? You're getting paid to move electrons, not sweep up dirt. And that was my permission to never have to clean up after myself again. So I'm just not gonna.
Okay. I guess it's an insider thing.
No. So like it's a stereotype in the construction industry that electricians don't clean up after themselves. So like when we're like stripping out wires and, we're leaving little flicks of wire scrap and shit everywhere, which is, I mean, it's a stereotype, but it's also 100% true. So, yeah, no, most electricians are terrible. I won't say all, but most. So,
I mean,
am I scared of brooms? No. Am I going to use them? Also, probably not.
That kind of makes sense. We had a team of electricians come in and do like some modifications to our lab just for a new power drop, and they worked pretty efficiently. The master electrician was there, kind of directing everybody, advising everybody, and then the guys that magically bend the conduit, that is an art form.
Yeah, it is. Some of those guys are absolutely crazy at conduit bending.
Then you got the guys running the wires, and then they make a fucking mess. But then these other guys come in and just sweep up after them. That are like I guess the journeymen, or they're going to be electricians, the apprentices. There you go.
Yep. Yeah, apprentices usually are the ones whose job it is to clean up and dig ditches and do all the not fun stuff, crawl around in attics.
So tell us where we can find you. You're TikTok for sure, right?
Yeah, so I keep my username the same on everything. So like Instagram, it's just _Fat_Electrician, and it's the same thing on TikTok. It's the same thing on YouTube. You can just look up the Fat Electrician TikTok. I'll pop up for sure. I would subscribe to my YouTube channel, would probably be the best thing. TikTok has kind of been reporting a lot of my videos lately, so I don't know how long I'll be able to stay on there, but I will keep going on YouTube for sure. They seem a lot more relaxed or reasonable, or at least if I do something wrong, YouTube's a lot better about telling me what I did wrong so I can correct it.
So you can do another video on TikTok and say, hey, all you 500,000 followers, go over to YouTube.
Man, it's hard to get people to click a button.
I know.
It's really hard. You would think that I got 500,000 people that follow me. I could get them all to click the link in my bio, hit YouTube channel, and then hit subscribe. But a lot of people do, but the majority don't. It's just hard to get people to take that extra 4 seconds out of their day. But hopefully I can get a bigger YouTube following, and then I'll just carry on there, because I don't know how long TikTok will stick around. It's kind of a fad type app. Like, I don't know if you remember Vine back in the day, where it was 6-second videos, So I think it's like that. TikTok probably won't be a thing in a year. So that's why I'm really trying to push my YouTube from the beginning, because YouTube will be around in 5 years, 10 years.
It's been around for a long damn time.
Exactly.
Since
it's got
the beginning.
longevity. So that's why I want to get people following me there too, so that I can hopefully stick around longer than that app.
So in the search bar, if you just go to YouTube and go The Fat Electrician, it's going to pop up, and there you are.
Absolutely. You'll see my face everywhere. You'll either see my face or people reacting to videos that I've made.
So Mike says he's actually in very good shape. He's also a purple belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, those are both true, actually. Yep.
All right, Mr. Fat Electrician, since I don't know your real name, thank you very much.
My name's Nick.
Okay, Nick, thank you very much for being here. And if you guys want to check out Nick, and I know that everyone wants to check Nick out and see all of his videos, you've got, 27 videos, 28 videos now?
Yeah, I'll probably have 29 by tomorrow.
29 by tomorrow? So we look forward to all of your new drops. And go over to YouTube and hit the subscribe button on the Fat Electrician. You will not be disappointed. There's so much great content there.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Nick, thank you very much for being here. Thank you so much. We've been pushing your videos very hard. I don't know who on staff found you, but they've been pushing it really hard, and we've been kicking out a bunch of your videos, and I know it's like ad nauseum, but man, it's so much fun. So much fun.
Oh, I'm glad everybody likes them, honestly. I have a lot of fun just hearing people. It's pretty cool when somebody that does a military job that I've never even done says that they show my video to their family when their family asks them what they do.
Oh my gosh, it's got to be.
Yeah.
It would be cool to get feedback about that too. Like, hey, I saw your video. My son does this. You did a video, and I thank you. Which is like the best compliment that you can get.
Yeah, I get messages like that almost every day, so it's been really cool for me.
Here's another one. You need to do a U.S. Army WTF moments video.
Maybe. I could give it a try. I can give it a try for sure.
All right, Nick. We're going to call it. Thank you very much. You've been a great guest. You're welcome back anytime. And we'll be in touch with you as far as the MP guy goes, and possibly a PSYOP.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Let me know.
All right, everybody, hang out for just a couple of minutes. I'm going to take a break, and then I think we're going to bring Pookie back, and we're going to close the show out.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Right here, right now. I'm better without you. You're always on my mind. But right here, right now. I'm better without you. I've had this for some time. But right now, I know that I'm better on my
WTF Nation Radio.
And we are back. Thank you, Nick, the Fat Electrician, for being with us. That was a good interview, man. Holy cow. I really like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we got Pookie back.
Oh, yay.
That was a lot of fun. That guy's got a really fun... He's got a plate, and it's full of stuff. I don't know if he knows how full of stuff that is. There's so much content out there that can be talked about in a very respectful way. Talking about aviation or talking about PSYOP, you get the basic facts right, and then you just go off on your tangent. MPs, get your basic facts right, and then start talking shit, and you're going to be fine with 99%.
I was trying to so he could caveat off his artillery when he did a 13 Bravo. It's like he needs to do a 13 Mike one. He should get a good 3-minute video out of that one. You know,
what's 13 Mike? I have no idea what that.
MLRS rocket systems.
But I heard that's not really artillery though.
That is artillery. It is surface to surface.
Oh, is that all? Is that all it counts?
Patriot, on the other hand, is not real artillery.
But Patriot falls in. Does that falls into ADA?
They call it air defense artillery.
ADA.
Is what they call it. Yeah. So I don't know. It's not really artillery because it's not really surface to surface. You know. I mean,
surface to hit something and then it eventually hits the surface.
Yeah, I guess.
What a great guest, man. What a fun dude. I really wish the video worked better. It worked for a little bit and then it didn't. And
I don't understand things sometimes. I'm always fine. I look great right now.
we're gonna get it right at some point. I mean, I watch CQ and he has all these flawless broadcasts with guests and stuff. If he's not getting whacked for copyright stuff.
Oh yeah.
But that's been resolved, so we won. Yay!
Oh yeah. Good.
So here we are at the end of another great Friday Night Freedom broadcast. Thank you all very much for being here.
Appreciate y'all.
So we've got shows 2 nights a week now. It's the Tuesdays, which is Pop Culture Warrior with CQ and Radar, and then there's Friday Night Freedom with me and the Pookie right there. Whoops, the Pookie right there. Ice is coming back. Spanky is coming back, so we're going to get our Mondays and our Thursdays, our Sergeant's Time fix. So, can we blame it on coronavirus? Probably not.
I mean, the government blames everything on coronavirus, so we might as well be able to do it, huh?
Well, yeah. And we're going to increase the price for subscription. Okay, so rather than $0.00, it's going to be $0.00.
Sounds good to me.
Because we're here for everybody.
Just buy us tacos. We'll be happy.
Tacos are good.
I
really
I'm all
wish
about a taco-based economy.
a taco-based economy. Hell yes. I really wish I had my, I'm done with the coronavirus thing, but I still don't have taste and I don't have smell. And I have this 6-pack of Yingling in my refrigerator. So last night, before I went to bed, I'm like, let me have a Yingling and see what it tastes like. And I haven't been able to taste anything for weeks. And I drank it and it kind of feels like it tastes good, but I can't taste anything. And it's it's depressing. It's very depressing. Thank you, Gary. Gary said, great show tonight, gentlemen. Thank you very much, Mr. Branscombe.
Oh yeah. I just wish they would figure that whole thing out, like do a case, like a straight case study on that, figure out why that happens. Because that's the only.
It's just it's bizarre to me. It's just a bizarre thing, and what it does mentally on a psychological take, it makes me very uninterested to eat. I don't get excited. I was like, normally I was like, okay, this is Saturday, like on the weekends or something. I'll go out to Abuelo's and I'll have a really nice fajita platter. And I'm like $40 on dinner if I can't taste anything, if I can't enjoy it. It's gonna fill my gut and I'm gonna be sustained, but I can get the same sustained feeling by going to Taco Bell.
That's what I think I was telling you earlier before we started the show. That my greatest fear is losing my sense of smell, because that's my best sense at that point. And if I lost it, I don't know what I'd do with myself. I find my way around most of the time. Just smell it.
So Dr. Holly Leanne says, use Vicks sinus nasal spray. It's new. It works. You will smell and taste Elmo. Maybe she fainted or something when she was typing that.
Vaporoo works for everything.
Vaporoo. I've seen that. I've got a guy at work that has this stuff that it kind of is like Vicks, but it's called axle grease. It's called axle grease, and it's from China. He had a foreign exchange student from China and stayed at his house, and he came and he had all of these things. Mom packed a bag, saying, okay, you're going to the United States of America. You're going to stay there for a while. Here's a bunch of food, just in case you don't like the American food. Here's things and stuff. And among those things and stuffs was a little vial of, it was all in Chinese, but it's called axle oil or something like that. And it kind of operates on the same principle as Vicks Vapor Rub does.
Insane.
So we have a guy in my lab, one of the he's a doctor, but he's like a mathematician guy. he's from Taiwan, and I showed it to him, and I said, "Hey, what does this say?" Because everything's written in Chinese. And he goes, "Oh, where did you get this?" I said, "I got this from Brian. He got this from China." He goes, "Throw this in the garbage. I don't trust anything from China." So what does it say? And he goes, "Oh, this says." He just says, "Oh, this is made in Singapore." So it's not really
Dear Lord.
Chinese. It was made in Singapore. He just says it's just a topical. You rub it on your skin, and you smell it, and it has that effervescing, like not eucalyptus. What's the? It's whatever Vicks.
Like the Tiger Balm kind of.
It's
thing.
like Tiger.
Like
It has when you smell it, it smells like what Tiger Balm does or what Vicks does.
Oh yeah.
So Holly, she replied, Vicks nasal use Vicks sinus nasal spray. You will smell and taste almost immediately. The thing is, I'm not congested. Normally it's like when you have a cold and you're stopped up and you can't taste stuff, there's a reason, is because you can't smell. But I can, my sinuses are clear, but I still can't taste or smell anything, which makes it really bizarre. Menthol. Yeah. What did you say?
Do a line of that red crushed red chili pepper they had in the MREs. It was so spicy.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't care how many requests we get for Kaz to do a line of crushed red pepper, because it's not that I can't. I've eaten jalapenos. I've got some jalapenos that I have in my refrigerator that I'll eat it with. I'll make a burrito, or I'll make a chili dog and put it on there. I can feel the heat, but I can't taste the flavor. That's the quandary that I'm in.
It's a strange thing.
It's very bizarre. Very bizarre. I don't like it, and I quit.
Hopefully you get better by Thanksgiving.
I mean, I can, right? I'll like microwave a meal, and I'm like, I can eat this box and get the same satisfaction from eating something, because it'll fill me up. Save a whole bunch of money just eating cardboard boxes as opposed to. Anyway, all right, everybody, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Thank you very much, Nick, the Fat Electrician, for hanging out with us tonight. That was very awesome. You got a great thing going on, man. I think it's going to continue. So rather than follow you on TikTok, we would suggest to go to YouTube and type in on the search bar the Fat Electrician, and then click on that, and then follow you there, because he believes the TikTok thing may not be as long living. So all of his videos will show up there. Awesome. Everybody, thank you very much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you so much. And come and kick it with us on Tuesday for Pop Culture Warrior. I have no idea who he's going to interview, but maybe it's nobody, maybe it's somebody, but there's always Radar. Radar is an awesome door gunner.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Radar in his little bubble.
The Radar bubble. I want a Pookie bubble. As soon as I get my new computer, everything's going to be cool. There's going to be a very short-lived, I hope, a learning curve. But I think things are going to happen very nice, and my production value will go up exponentially. So, everybody, thank you very much for being here. My name is Kaz, and that's Pookie, and this is WTF Nation Radio, and we're out. Have a great weekend.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
Wear a condom? We're in Fayetteville. No one gets STDs here.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Is it necessary for me to drink my own urine?
Yo.